Hello, Capricorn. Welcome and thank you for being with me. This will be a weekly general reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising for August 19th through the 25th. However, dates are approximate and flexible. Also, it's a general reading, so it will not resonate with everyone. So take anything that does resonate and leave the rest behind. So let's take a look at what we have here for some of you in this upcoming week. From the major arcana, I ask for one card for the overall energy, and from the minor arcana, I ask for a card or cards for the physical, mental, and spiritual realms, and actually only one card jumped out for each of those categories. So let's take a look at what we have here. So it looks as though the overall energy is one of strength. So it's kind of like you bring a self-control or self-restraint to maybe a situation this week. And I feel as though this is a really positive energy that may even affect those around you and is even obvious to those around you or those involved in the situation. So this is a really fabulous energy here, Capricorn. So in your physical realm here, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. So those of you for whom this will end up resonating, you might find yourself, I feel like you're going to find yourself in a situation basically where this strength comes in handy. I feel like though it's like you're maybe holding yourself back or holding back in a way. I feel like this is an intentional holding back. For example, this is just an example of a situation you might need to restrain yourself, and maybe others are, in your physical realm are doing or saying things with which you don't agree, but you've got the kind of like the wisdom and the strength to kind of like hold yourself back. If you've ever found yourself in a situation, for example, where others are having maybe an unpleasant conversation, something with which you don't agree, something, maybe that sheds a light on others in a way that maybe you don't agree with their points of view. Maybe they have maybe a very limited way of seeing the world, and you don't agree with this, and yet you're using your alignment and your strength to hold back. Now, I know that the Eight of Swords reversed is kind of like, generally a negative energy, but what I'm feeling here is that you're intentionally holding yourself back, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It'll vary for each of you. But I feel as though you're holding back. And in your mental realm, so this is what's on your mind. This is what you're thinking about, what you're focused on. And I think maybe there's some like confusion or a lack of clarity on whether to move forward or not, leave the situation or not. Okay, so actually the example I just gave, if you find yourself in a situation this week where people are talking, negatively or expressing negatively, and it's just, sometimes it's controversial types of subjects and such, and you're holding back. You've got this strength and this alignment, and sometimes just by holding back, you kind of get your message across, such as, I do not agree with this, and I'm not going to join in on this negativity or what have you. But and you're maybe even unclear as to, should I remove myself from this situation, from this group? And in your spiritual realm here, the message from the universe, the Queen of Swords. I feel as though the universe is telling you that you have this the wisdom and the experience and the understanding of the Queen of Swords, and you have a message to deliver. You have knowledge and experience to share. So now this does sound kind of specific, Capricorn, but overall I'm getting a picture here of, again, this will not resonate with everyone, but of you being involved or finding yourself in a situation where you are holding back maybe your opinions, you're holding back what you know to be the truth, your truths, and you're unclear as to whether to leave the situation. And I feel as though the universe is just letting you know that you know the truth. And this is more like, I feel it's more on a spiritual level of truths, of universal truths, of understanding the world. Like you have a message to deliver, and you have knowledge and experience to share. And I feel as though you will know when is the right time to say something, what is the right thing to say. I even feel like maybe it should be measured. I feel as though it will be different for each of you, but sometimes we can just get across our message. I feel like you have a positive message to share, a positive outlook on life, like a unifying message as opposed to a divisive message. I feel as though this situation you're in is with a person or people who have kind of divisive views instead of a unifying, we're all in this together, instead of a message of love and generosity. This is kind of more of an us versus them, a divisive conversation or what have you, a sort of energy. But you've got this strength about you, this alignment. And it may just be that your self-restraint here, you're kind of keeping yourself out of it, is sending a message in and of itself, but that, like the Queen of Swords, you've got truths and you've got knowledge and experience. You've got a message to share, and you will share it when the time feels right. And again, I kind of feel like for some of you, it will be here and there, now and then. You kind of get your message in there in a subtle kind of way, without insulting others, in a sense. And it's almost as if I feel as if you are more spiritually evolved, and have a more generous way of looking at the world, and you have this message to share, and you will share it kind of over time, and you will get your message across to others, and you will affect them positively. So Capricorn, yeah, it's kind of a specific message, yet maybe not, So see in this upcoming week if you find yourself in a situation where you need to show self-restraint. You're unclear if you should remove yourself from this situation, move on maybe from these people or whatever this is you find yourself in. But you've got this energy of strength surrounding you. and you've got a positive message to share, your life experience, your knowledge, your universal truths that could benefit others. But you will know when and how to share those, and it will, like, I feel like all in good time you will share your messages with the world. Okay, Capricorn. That I do want to thank you so very much for being with me, and I really do wish you a fabulous week.